Hey guys, welcome to Staying Salty. If you haven't been here before, my name is Miranda, and this week we're going to be talking about social situations as you get older when alcohol and smoking and all of the things of that sort become involved. And do we partake in it? How does it affect us? If we don't, why? How do we handle those situations? All of the things involving that part of society.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
So, excuse the background. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to film, where to film, and the move is still happening. So, things are still kind of all over the place, as well as my life. And this week, I'm actually having kind of really intense sinus surgery. So, yeah, fingers crossed that that goes well. I'm going to be talking on the Instagram story today about exactly what that's going to be. So go over to our Instagram so you can follow along on that and figure out what crazy thing is going to be going on inside my head on Wednesday. And yeah, so back into the video itself. I personally, as a young child, and will continue until the day I die, have chosen to not partake in such activities. I feel very strongly about this personally, as to my own health, mentally and physically. I come from a family with a very complicated and hurtful background whenever it comes to drinking and such, and I know what it can do to families. I value control of my body a little bit too much, and also I know the ramifications that can have with counteracting with medications, and just there's too many downsides for me to even want to try it, and it's just not something that I want. I'm completely okay with that. I don't need it to have fun. I don't need it to enrich my life in any way. And I personally don't think and know that I'm not missing out on anything in doing so. I can still hang out with my friends and have a great time. But I'm just not gonna do what they're doing. And so, that, I can't say that that hasn't always been an easy choice socially. Not that I've ever been persuaded to do anything, but I've been talked down to a lot because of it. I'm from South Louisiana, where Mardi Gras is huge, and there's 5 bars on every corner, and half of the town drinks from the second they wake up to the second they go to bed. And the majority of them are going to be smoking and doing whatever else while they do so. And, you know, growing up in a society like that, in a family like mine, with a health condition that I have, it was always very hard. A lot of my family was either kept away or left or didn't want, we weren't around because they chose to partake in those activities rather than be a part of our lives whenever my mom put up boundaries when it came to smoking and such. And so my family missed out on a lot of my life because of that. And there's just too many family secrets. I have a lot of mental baggage when it comes to this topic. The only time I was ever really around drinking and smoking, because my mom held me away from it to protect me, was during Mardi Gras time. When we would go to the parades, we literally lived on the parade routes. We would just walk across the street and we would be in a completely different world. My brother and I never saw it as something that we aspired to do and that's what fun was. It's never something that we connected. But I'm gonna tell you, about every single year for my entire life, I was always admitted into the hospital the week after Mardi Gras. From being in that atmosphere and having the smoke all over and all of that, I just always grew up knowing being in that atmosphere meant me getting sicker. When I got older and my friends started drinking, my brain was really split in half because like they're their own people, they're getting older, it's what they're gonna do. But then the other half was like, what if they're like my family and they start acting this way and it changes that? It was always a really hard mental battle for me growing up when things started happening. I don't technically think that anymore, but I can't say for certain that there's not always at least a little bit of that in the back of my head because of the way that I grew up in, the environment that I grew up in. I never went to any high school parties. I never did any of that, but I didn't miss out on anything. I still was friends with everybody. I still would go to gatherings with them. I just wouldn't go to the gatherings where everyone was drinking and smoking and doing all of this stuff that I knew wasn't good for me. And I knew an environment like that wasn't mentally healthy for me as well. So I always stayed away from it. My friends did what they did, and then we did what we did together, and I did my own thing on my own. But there has been backlash, and people have talked down to me because I haven't chosen to partake in that lifestyle. It just sucked. I'd never let any of it technically get to me. I did lose some friends, and some friends did choose to be with people that would partake in that same lifestyle, and they didn't feel comfortable hanging out with me because I didn't. When we got to that age, we all just grew apart because we wanted different things and valued different things, and they couldn't separate the two worlds. I see advice that I would have to give about it. If you choose to do those things, I really hope you don't choose to smoke. But if you choose to drink or, whatever else, I hope you do it safely. I hope you put yourself in safe environments when you're doing so. And I hope that when you do it, you aren't doing it when you're super sick. Like when you really need your medicines to not counteract and not be canceled out because of something that alcohol can do to it. Because I've seen what that can do to some CFers, and I just really hope you're being careful. If you choose not to, like me, know that you can still have fun and you can still have friends and a social life. Just don't do it. Like, I'll go and sit at a bar if it's a non-smoking bar with my friends, and they can drink and I can sit there and I can drive them home or go, I can still be there just as long as it's not a smoking environment. And as I've gotten older, that's been mentally, I've gotten better with it. Yeah, so you can still go, just make sure you're putting yourself in a safe place. I can't say I haven't always been this perfect CFer that never went into these environments willingly. Like a couple of months ago, I went with Katie to her high school reunion, and there was smoking there, and we did know that, but I knew I was gonna go in the hospital soon anyway, and I just held my breath and ran a lot. But that was a day that I didn't want to miss out on doing something with her and seeing old friends. So you kind of just have to pick and choose, and sometimes you pick the smart choice, and sometimes in order to not miss out on your life, you have to make some compromises, and they aren't always the easiest ones to make. And sometimes they're the easiest ones to make, just depending on the way you look at it. Yeah, just whichever you choose, I hope you're safe and you have fun, and yeah. I think that's all I have to say on this topic. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I do really want to talk to you about this topic. Get your view on whether or not you choose to go out with your friends and what you do in these types of atmospheres, and how does it affect your health if you do partake in it. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Please like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it useful, if you related to it in any way. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I put up a new video. I am going to leave my social media accounts as well as the channels in the description down below. Make sure you go and like our Facebook page and follow our Instagram and just catch up with us. I will see you guys very, very soon, and until next time, remember to stay salty.